President Museveni was among the African leaders and investors who today gathered in Nairobi for the inaugural Africa Will Build Summit, focused on unlocking domestic capital and turning infrastructure plans into bankable projects and jobs. The two-day meeting, hosted by the Africa Finance Corporation in partnership with the government of Kenya, brought together decision-makers to drive regional integration and industrial growth under the theme, Infrastructure as the Engine of Industrialization. Addressing the summit, Museveni said Africa's challenge is not lack of money, but ideology.
But I think if we only focus on infrastructure alone, we may not go far. Because there are wars. There are wars in Congo, there are wars in South Sudan, there are wars in all these different places, Somalia. So how will you have infrastructure if people are fighting for wrong reasons?
He said the continent remains held back by fragmented markets, low value addition, and weak infrastructure. On Uganda's oil sector, Museveni said claims that refineries do not make money were misleading, maintaining that refining locally is key to retaining value.
Refineries don't make money. Hey, they don't make money. How about the ones who build them? Why do they build them? Then when I checked, the refinery in Uganda actually is very, very profitable.
He also reaffirmed Uganda's ban on exporting unprocessed minerals.
I have banned the export of unprocessed minerals. All of them, I have banned them.
I must really thank President of Uganda for taking this bold move. Stopping the export, they will be forced, they will come and produce. Why do you want to take the raw material, then you bring it back?
On his part, Kenya's President William Ruto backed Uganda's position, saying President Museveni rejected pressure to take easier options on oil.
I want to thank President Museveni for refusing to accept easy choices. He had a choice. He had a choice to allow the oil in Uganda to go the way others would have wanted. But I remember having a conversation with President Museveni, and allow me, Mzee, to say this. When I visited him once, and I asked him, Mzee, what's going to happen about the oil reserves that you have, because it's taken time. And I remember Mzee telling me, look, young man, then I wasn't even president. He told me, you see, some of these people you see here, if we give them a chance, they will sell this oil at a throwaway price and go and buy perfume.
Ruto said Kenya will invest in Uganda's refinery, building on Uganda's earlier investment in the Kenyan pipeline.
President Museveni called me and said, I want to buy 50% of Kenya pipeline. And he told me, I don't care the price. You know, that's how serious he was. When some other pessimists in Kenya were saying, oh, you know, the price is very high, I don't know. You know, President Museveni could see beyond the price. He could see the opportunity of transforming our nation, our region together. Mzee, I want to assure you that the same way you invested in Kenya pipeline, Kenya is going to invest in your refinery and in the future of our resources together.
During a panel discussion, Nigerian industrialist Aliko Dangote pledged support to build a similar refinery in East Africa.
But my commitment today here is that if we agree with the 3-4 governments here about the refinery, we will lead and will make sure that that refinery is built within the next 4 or 5 years.
A new infrastructure report released at the summit shows that Africa has over $2 trillion in domestic capital, but much of it remains in short-term investments.